Turn that speaker down. Wait, what? Good.
Hey there, and welcome to Action for Assange. Unfortunately, we have to do a not so fun show, although I think we're used to that here on this channel. That's kind of what we do. First, let's get into the numbers before. First of all, Sleepy Josh is here
Hey,
in the
everybody.
background doing all the tech stuff that I'm incapable of doing because that's what he does for me.
We do not have chat this time, but I got it fixed today for the next stuff we do.
People
so
can
we'll
still
chat again.
They can still chat, right?
It's
Can
just
they chat?
yeah, they can still chat. It's just hard for us to see it.
I'm going to try to monitor it on my phone. So every once in a while, I'll take a glance over. So if anybody has questions or whatever, leave them in there. And I'll try to get keep track of them as we go through the show. But we got it. We're getting it. We're getting it, guys. We're we're getting there. We're both a little absent-minded. And I hate tech stuff, so I will avoid it at all costs. So also, I want to pre-apologize because I have been very sneezy today. So if I sneeze 900 times on air, I'm sorry. I know that that's not the best of circumstances. But I don't know if it's just allergies or whatever. It's driving me crazy. So I'm a little, I have like a little bit of a head thing going on today. So I'm a little out of it. Okay, so let's do the numbers before we dive into the unfortunate news of the day. So it has been 1,860 days since Julian Assange was essentially kidnapped from the Ecuadorian embassy and thrown into Belmarsh prison. It's been 1,224 days since he was denied bail, just 2 days after Judge Vanessa Breitzer called for his release after denying the extradition request, which was a very interesting choice for her to make. It is 6 days and some change until the May 20th extradition decision. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. The next hearing for Julian Assange, in which we will in fact get an actual decision this time, I think. That is taking place on Monday, May 20th. So here we go. It's like, I guess it's not even 6 days and some change. It's like 5 days and some change, given the time zone difference. Yeah, so it's a very stressful week for those of us who care about these issues. I'm a little overwhelmed, I guess is the good word to use. And it has been approximately 21 hours since our friend David McBride was sentenced to nearly 6 years in prison for revealing crimes, for exposing crimes. He has now been sentenced to nearly 6 years in prison. I want to start the show off by playing you something from David McBride that I think it was from a couple days ago. Let me bring this up here. Share screen. Sorry, I'm not used to StreamYard. We don't do this enough for me to be great at this. So this is a video that David McBride put out 3 days ago. I'm sorry. And I'm going to try not to cry. That's my goal. Okay. Did that come up okay? Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Here we go. This is David McBride.
Okay. A few short videos before Tuesday. I was trying to spend the last weekend with my daughter. The oldest one's overseas, youngest one's here. So I'll make it short. I just want to thank everybody that supported me over the past 5 years, 6 years. Been incredible support around the world, but especially in Australia. Thank you so much. Fantastic donations and beautiful comments. I'll leave a longer video about what else, but that's all I can really say. It's been hard. It's been 11 years. Pushed to my absolute limits. And I certainly would not have made it without the support of the incredible people that I have. So just thank you for that. You know who you are. And I'll do you proud on Tuesday, whatever happens. As I say, I may have broken the law, but I did not break my oath to the Australian people. And I won't let you down in jail. I will stand tall and continue the fight for a better Australia.
Okay. Not going to cry. Not going to cry, guys. We're not going to cry. That was our friend David McBride just a few days ago. Oh, hey, that's Taylor Hudak. So that is our friend David McBride from a few days ago, just addressing his many supporters across the globe, of which we were some of the first in the United States, not to brag, but I'm bragging. We were some of the first people in the United States to pay attention to his case, to talk to him about his case, to cover his case, all of that stuff. And we have been friends with him ever since. I don't want to oversell our relationship. We're not besties, like, you know what I mean? But we have a relationship. We're friends. And Sleepy and I have talked about this privately. I tweeted about it, I think, yesterday. Obviously, the Assange case means a great deal to me for various reasons, a whole bunch of reasons. But the McBride stuff feels personal. I've met David over online. We've not met in person, but I've spoken to him numerous times. I've been on his show. He's been on my show. We've had conversations. I consider him a friend. And I think that that's why this feels so much more personal. It's not just about, the Assange stuff feels kind of personal, I guess, but nothing like this. It's nothing like what
I think the fact that he's a whistleblower and not a publisher is also a factor in that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because without people like him, you wouldn't have Assanges.
Yes. And I think that that's what this sentence is really about. It is the continuation of the imposed chilling effect across whistleblowing. I think that's why there's such a severe sentence that was just imposed on David McBride. I think that a message is being sent. It's undeniable as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it just feels more personal, given that we have had, he's been on this show. We have talked to him at length about his case, about his family, about a whole host of things. And so it just feels a little bit different. And so I'm sad and I'm really pissed off. I'm pissed off. I don't even think it's a strong enough term. I'm not sure there is a strong enough term. I'm furious. As we said about the Assange stuff, we shouldn't even be here. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. There should be statues to David McBride. There should be a parade in his honor today instead of him spending his first day in prison of a 6-year sentence, nearly 6-year sentence. So it's I'm very, very, very disgusted by all of this. But I wanted to show you that in his own words, thanking his supporters, of which many of our viewers have been for many years. You have followed along on that journey with him as well. So I definitely wanted to just let him speak to you in his own words. I also wanted to just show you a little brief bit. This is from Consortium News. They did, by the way, please go and support Consortium News. Please.
I do.
Yes, I do too.
And I'm broke as hell. That's one of the
I just recently
made support.
Yeah, I just recently made a donation during their spring fundraiser. They are incredible. They are some of the only, first of all, They are some of the only people who covered this trial, the David McBride stuff at all. Like David McBride gave the information to Australian journalists, ABC journalists in Australia. They barely covered this shit. It's unbelievable the lack of coverage about this case, about the Assange
weren't they
case.
rated over that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But they don't really cover it. I mean, they'll do like a quick, I think I saw like a 1 minute, 20-second video that they put up, like a just blurb, like David McBride was sentenced to 5 years, 8 months in prison. Really?
Also,
That's all you got?
Mary Kostakidis covered the hell out of it too.
Yeah, Mary Kostakidis is fantastic. I'm going to talk about her a little bit later. I sent her some DMs earlier about the Assange stuff on Monday. So we'll talk. She's fantastic as well. But please go support Consortium News. If you can't donate, I get it. Like, I totally get it. But you can share their work. You can subscribe to their YouTube. You can, I don't know if they have a Substack. I'm sure they do. Wherever you can go and follow, subscribe, all of that stuff, do it, because they are doing some of the most important work on issues of whistleblowing and press freedom and all of that stuff. So please go support them. But I wanted to show you just the beginning of their, they were outside the courtroom. Kathy Vogan was also inside the courtroom. She did a great job trying to live tweet the proceedings in the courtroom, which I was following intently last night, hoping for good news. We did not get it, but hoping for good news. And she did a fantastic job, and she always does. So please go support Consortium News. But I just want to play just this first. It's just him showing up to the court. Is this it? Yes. It's just him showing up to the court, and he just makes a very brief statement. So just wanted to
full screen it.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, David.
You're innocent until they can prove you guilty.
That is right. That is right, my friend.
David, are you prepared to go to jail?
Good morning, everybody. Hi, David.
Hello, David.
Zero. Thank you, my friends. I've just got one thing to say this morning. I've never been so proud to be an Australian as today. I may have broken the law, but I did not break my oath to the people of Australia and the soldiers who keep us safe. David McBride, hero of Australia.
Not gonna cry. Damn it. It's just hard because he's a friend. Oh, so tough. Oh, I just feel so bad for him. And he's there with his dog. That's his service dog. He obviously deals with quite a bit of PTSD and all that stuff. So that's Jake. Which he obviously can't take to jail with him. Damn it, Sleepy.
Yeah, it happens.
I hate crying on camera. When he's walking up there, it's so funny because when he's walking up, I literally at the same time, you can hear Kathy Vogan, who's filming that in the background, say, "Oh, David." And that I said it at the exact same time she did. And I was like, oh shit, we're thinking the same. But I appreciate the fact that he is trying to put on a brave face there, obviously. And thank you to everybody who showed up to support him on the day. I know that there was one woman in the courtroom who, when Judge Mossop, fuck that guy. When Judge Mossop came into the court, they yelled something like shame on the courts or something like that. So shout out to the woman that did that. You're my spirit animal. Thank you for that. And following the sentencing, apparently it got very spicy in the courtroom. And Judge Mossop ran, bolted. At least that's what Kathy reported in her live thread, the tweet thread that she was doing covering. I'm sorry, guys. Get it together, Winston. Okay. Okay. I also, for those of you that don't know what exactly this is all about, and I'm sure all of you do, but just in case you're new here, and you're not familiar with David McBride's case, I don't want to go through all of it. It is, there's a lot. I will say that you can go to Consortium News. They have a fantastic video. I wish I could put it in the chat. I can't. I'm sorry. But if you just go to Consortium News YouTube, they have a really fantastic video with oh, hold on, I'm blanking on her name. Eddie Lloyd, who is a fantastic attorney, and she also did a live thread on Twitter. She was also in the courtroom if you want to check that out. I'm going to bring up both of those live threads so we can just kind of parse through them here in just a second. But they did a fantastic video 2 days ago, just kind of detailing the case and things like that. But McBride exposed not just war crimes, but also the mistreatment of Australian soldiers. And he did so because he attempted to go through proper channels and got nowhere. And that is the case almost always. I don't know, Sleepy, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know of a whistleblower that I'm familiar with who didn't first try to go through proper channels.
I don't think Snowden did.
I think he did, didn't he? He attempted to go through NSA.
I don't know, because he was a contractor, so I'm not sure on that one.
I'll have to look into that. I'm pretty sure that he did. I'm not sure though. But
yeah, the vast majority we've dealt with have all tried to do it properly and got nowhere with it.
Yeah, and they feel like they have no other recourse, and so they have to take action and attempt to go to the media to get attention on it. So
these were crimes against humanity, man. You know,
yes. And this is what's so frustrating about this, because here we are yet again, where the person who exposed the crimes is being treated as the criminal, and it is mind blowing to me that we are okay with
weren't
this.
they gunning down farmers and shit?
Yes. I mean, some of I don't want to detail all of it, but like the removing of hands of people that they've just slaughtered, like a whole bunch of just really gross stuff, illegal, like hardcore. These are obvious war crimes, many times at the behest of the United States, which I'm going to play a clip here where Kathy Vogan asks Eddie Lloyd about the affiliation between Australia and the US, and her answer is fucking fantastic. But yes, so he's very similar. I often liken him to Chelsea Manning. Maybe not the same extremes. I think Chelsea Manning exposed some really awful stuff, and McBride did too, but Manning I think revealed more, but very similar situations where just some of the most heinous war crimes were being committed, and nobody was doing anything about it, and so he did, which as a military lawyer, as a lawyer, you have a duty to do that. Like in the Judge Mossop claimed that that's not the case, that his duty to the military was more important than his duty to the Australian people, which is absurd. And it's just, again, it is mind blowing to me that we are okay with time after time after time. It's the whistleblower that is punished for exposing crimes and not the criminals who commit the crimes. It's so fucking backwards, and it makes me angry. I mean, Jeffrey Sterling, John Kiriakou, Chelsea Manning, Thomas Drake, Daniel Hale, now David McBride. I mean, it's just time and time again. We see the whistleblower being punished for revealing crimes, and the people who commit the crimes walk free. Like there's not a single person who has even seen the inside of a courtroom, let alone been charged with anything or faced any accountability whatsoever for any of these situations. And it is insane to me. It is insane to me that we're fine with that. Everybody's just fine with that. And it's so backwards. I just don't have words for how ridiculous that is. But I'll go ahead and play this video that I just mentioned, since I mentioned it. This is from the Consortium News video that I mentioned, where they discuss the case in more depth. And listen, we've talked to David McBride on this channel. You can go back and pull those videos up where he discusses his case for himself in his own words. You can go back and check all that out. I just don't want to spend too much time rehashing it because we do have a lot to get through. But I just thought that this question, and more importantly, the answer, was pretty significant. And it made me, I literally stopped what I was doing and was like, fuck yeah. Like that was a great answer. So let me pull this up. Oops, wrong button. This one? Yes. Okay. So this is Kathy Vogan with attorney Eddie Lloyd.
There is a need for it to be independent as well. You mentioned before that we worked with the United States. And at one point during the week-long hearings, there was a King's Counsel who came in and started talking about the need to remove evidence because it could be damaging to our foreign partners. So how much has this got to do with the United States?
I don't think we're working with the United States. I think we're working for the United States, Australia. I think we're bending over for Uncle Sam, left, right, and centre. And that's the concern there. And I think that was one of the reasons why so much of the evidence was kept in a safe and kept from the public, because we know it did touch on other jurisdictions and it did touch on Australia entering into operations with the US without asking any questions. And you can't do that. And then, you know, working out, oh, we better make up a reason as to why we're going into Syria for this particular operation because we've just gone in there anyway because the US have asked us to. That's what they didn't want to. That's what they didn't want to expose. That's what they didn't want coming out. That's what they're protecting. I don't think that that is highly classified information. I think that that is information that we, the public, should know about, because I do not want our government entering into operations in other countries just on the say-so of the US and then cobbling together some kind of reason for it later. I mean, that's very frightening. And the way David McBride's case has gone has been, you know, it has been a very, very fine illustration of our democracy crumbling, and shows us exactly who is in control now and who owns Australia. We do not own Australia. America owns Australia. And that is why the Americans are so interested in this case. And that is why the Americans are so interested in Julian Assange and extraditing him and shutting him down. And
American friends.
By death by 1,000 cuts, you know. It's just time for us to start getting this information out to the mainstream. And it's been very, very unfortunate that the mainstream media have been absent in the case of David McBride. Where were they on sentence day? All of that evidence that was coming out that was just so astounding. All of the evidence that threatens our democracy that was coming out, but yet there was barely any reporting besides you and I.
Yeah.
And that's the fourth estate, you know, that's the fourth estate. And they are in bed with the government.
Yes, they are in bed with the people that they're supposed to be holding accountable. And that is the problem with mainstream press. That's what we've been talking about on the show for a very long time. But I loved her answer there where she said, listen, I don't think we're working with the United States. I think we're working for the United States.
I believe Gordon Dimmick puts it best, America's bitch.
Yeah. I mean, Caitlin Johnstone calls Australia America's basement gimp. That's what it is. Perfect. You have no autonomy. You have no sovereignty. You don't own your country, Australia. You don't have, like, you are America's bitch, and that should piss you off. And
the UK too.
Yes, 100%. Yes, 100%. And it is, it's very unfortunate. And the reason why it's allowed to continue is because what they were just talking about there, the mainstream press doesn't talk about it. And so just as in the United States, the vast majority of Australians are completely unaware of what's happening because the mainstream media in Australia is owned and operated really essentially by the United States government. And they do what they're told, and they print what they're told to print, and they publish what they're told to publish. They don't cover stories in any real substantive way. And they spin the hell out of stuff. They lie to people. They misdirect people. They misinform people. And that's how they're able to get away with it. And I just loved that answer from her. I think it was fantastic. And again, she did a great job covering the McBride stuff. So I'll pull that up here in just a little bit. So let's see, what else do I have here? I will mention that Mark Davis, who is one of McBride's attorneys, did say that they will appeal. However, we all know that appeals processes, whatever, take forever, years. So our friend David will be in prison. He is in prison right now. And if he is, I'm going to go and pull up the live tweet. He is without,
I think he's eligible for parole too, and I think two
years
and some change or something.
2 years and hold on. I'm going to pull it up so I don't give you the wrong information. Come on, Twitter. Consortium News is one of those things that you have to like type it all the way out because, you know, free speech and all that. Let's see. Where's the thread? I should have had this already pulled up. I apologize, guys. And shout out to everybody that's here. I'm sorry, we don't have chat and I'm not really able to. I only see a few people in the chat, so at least on the A4A channel. There might be some in the other channels. Okay, so he 27 months is non-parole. So he can potentially be released in 27 months, which I think is August of 2026, if I remember correctly. If he is forced to serve his entire term, he will not be released from prison until the year 2030.
Gross.
Yes. He was given 68 months. Once again, 5 years, 8 months for doing the right thing and exposing the crimes and corruption of government to the Australian people, which anybody with any level of conscience would do, should do, and should be supported in doing so. And instead, the person exposing the crimes is being treated like the criminal. And it is so disgusting to me. But some of the stuff that I don't want to go through the whole live thread that Kathy has, although I highly recommend if you are interested in exactly what took place in the court, go check out Consortium News or go check out Eddie Lloyd, who we just saw there on that video. She also has a thread up on her Twitter page. Some of the stuff, and Sleepy, we talked about this before, especially the medical stuff. It's so hard to listen to. Listening to them.
Having to have all your mental shit aired out for the public so they don't lock you in a hole forever sucks.
Yeah. And having to be David McBride sitting there listening to them degrade you and attack your character and try to pretend as if you're some criminal when you just did the right thing is just ridiculous. It just makes me angry. Apparently, though, he sat very stoically the entire time. Jake, his dog, was noticeably distressed. I think was probably feeding off of the anxiety that David must have been feeling. Kathy mentioned several times that Jake was fidgety and things like that. So, although I will say that David McBride, so many character references, so many people came out in droves to talk about what an amazing human being David McBride is. And he is. We know him a little bit, and he is a fantastic human being, in my opinion. And that really had no bearing. They don't care. They don't care that you're a good person and that you do the right thing and that you served your country in the military for however many years David was in the military. He had no criminal record, upstanding member of society. None of that mattered. They didn't care. But yeah, they had to go through the whole, he has PTSD and he has mental health issues. There was a time when he was self-medicating with alcohol. He had a little issue with alcohol for a while. He managed to dig himself out of that hole. He started dieting and exercising and all of that stuff. He's in fantastic shape now. He really started taking care of himself. But his defense team had no choice. They have to bring these things up. They have to use anything that they can, right, to keep their client out of prison. And so bringing these things up, like, I mean, he saying, he has PTSD, he was in a really terrible place that had an impact on his decision making and all of that stuff. I don't think that that's relevant because his decision making was dead on. He did what he was supposed to do. He did what he should have done, which was expose this bullshit. But they don't see it that way. They do not see it that way at all. In fact, the judge said that David thought that he knew better than the ADF.
That shit pissed me off.
Yes.
It was just just like smug condescension.
Yes. And it reminds me so much of the Assange stuff when they were calling Assange, what they call him, a narcissist and a miserable little worm and whatever else they call him.
All character assassination. That's all they got. They don't want to have to bring up what he leaked.
Yeah. Yes. So he was let out of the court by 3 policemen, and a woman, I don't know who it was, took his dog. Hopefully his daughters will be able to take over for Jake. And it just makes me sad that like he was only able to spend his last weekend with one of his daughters because the other one was overseas, and it's just sad. All of it's awful. It's so terrible. We shouldn't even be here. I'm going to say it again. We shouldn't be having this conversation. There should be a parade right now happening for David McBride in the streets of Canberra, where everybody's celebrating him for being such a courageous whistleblower. And instead, he's spending his very first day in prison. So backwards. Okay. I don't think I have anything else on McBride. Sleepy, am I missing anything?
No.
I will say that I asked Kathy, because I was feeling incredibly helpless, what can we do? And she, obviously, the only thing we really can do is contribute to his defense fund. Obviously, the appeals process is going to be expensive and long and drawn out and all of that stuff. I am hoping that we will rather quickly get an address for him so that we can begin writing to him. I think that will help him tremendously. If he can see all of the support that he has, it'll give him, something to focus on outside of his current circumstances. So once I get an address for him, I would really appreciate if everybody would take 5 minutes out of your day, once a week, once a month, and write him a letter, send him a card. I don't know if he's able to receive books or any of that stuff yet. Once I get any and all of that information, I will make sure to blast it, because I would like very much for people to.
Yeah, and please do it. I mean, he mentioned a lot of times that the support he got from everyone around the world kept him going. So
yeah,
that can't stop because his address changed.
Yeah, great point. Yeah, he did. I mean, every time I spoke to him, he mentioned how unbelievably humbled and grateful he was for the amount of support that he received from people across the globe. And that really did help him. He knew what he was up against. I mean, he's not an idiot. He knew what he was up against. He knew what he would be up against, I think, when he did what he did. But I think it helps knowing that you didn't do it in vain, and that people see you and they appreciate you and they respect what you've done. And it just sucks that he has to make this kind of a sacrifice. I mean, he's going to lose at least 2 years, 3 months ish, or 5 months, whatever it is, of his life, potentially more. He may be all the way up until 2030. That's time with his children. That's time. That's his life. I mean, it makes me angry. It makes me really, really angry. So yeah, once I get an address for him, I will give it to you guys. Please contribute to his defense fund if you are able to. I will tweet that out. I can do it now. Let's see. Kathy replies. I will tweet that out now. In fact, I can pin it to my please help. I just tweeted it. So if anybody would like to contribute to his defense fund, please go and do that now, so that he can continue to fight on appeal and all of that stuff. So, and I'm not super familiar. Now I'm going to have to learn a whole other legal system. I'm going to have to figure out how the Australian appeals system works. I think it's very similar to the UK. Obviously, they're under the same crown. So I think it's very similar. I think you have to request leave to appeal and all of that stuff. So it's going to be very similar to the Assange situation. So if you can contribute, please go and do that. And I think that that's it on McBride, unless Sleepy, you have something that I'm missing out on.
No, I think we touched on everything. And thank you to all the indie journalists that actually did cover it. There were a few. So
there were a few, not many.
I wish more people would have covered his stuff more in the U.S. But
yeah, shout out to like Richie Medhurst, who has been covering it for a while now as well. Did anybody else cover it?
not that I know of.
I don't think
Consortium News
so.
sure did, though.
Consortium News absolutely did. I will say Hotspot did a video on it today. I don't know that they've done steady coverage of it, but they did do a video today. So thanks for that, I guess. In Context did a video today. Again, I don't know exactly to what extent any of these outlets have covered it over the years. Mint Press, obviously, at least they just did a picture instead of stealing somebody's video this time. That's cool. Sorry, shots fired. It's a pattern of behavior now at this point. Do better. I like Mint Press. Yeah, I don't like to have to be like this. They do good stuff. Stop stealing people's work. Okay? Just, it doesn't take much to say video credit, do dissidents. Video credit, Indie News Network. It doesn't take that much to add a credit. Just
no, it would take less time than scrubbing the watermark.
Dude, the Indie News Network, Do Dissidents did not have a watermark on their video. They tried to rush that out. So they didn't, but they actually like removed INN's watermark and replaced it with their own. That is some shady shit. Like, that's just basic journalistic activity. Like, that's integrity.
You don't fucking do that.
You don't do that. It's not okay. And especially when you're Mint Press News and you have a relatively decent sized platform and you're stealing content from a tiny platform like INN and passing it off as your own. That's just not okay. It's just not. Stop doing it, please. I don't want to have to not like you guys. I think you do great work. So just stop doing it, please. That would be fantastic. I'm trying to just look through like the tags. Obviously, I should mention there are Australian politicians, very similar politicians that support Julian Assange, David Shoebridge being among them, who were at the hearing and that stand by him. The Duggan family, Dan Duggan, who is another political prisoner currently in Australia, who I actually had somebody from their team on my old show on TNT. If anybody wants to go check that out, although I don't know if you can find that on TNT anymore. You're gonna have to get it from Sleepy because they wiped my show out.
I need to start uploading it, but it's gonna take a while because it's a lot.
It's a lot. But hopefully we can get that up soon. But that's a whole crazy case too. So yeah, there just wasn't a lot of coverage from. Hey, Ian Davis covered it. Thank you, Ian. Rick Munn, my friend Rick Munn covered it. Thank you, Rick. Just not very many people covered it. Stefania Marizzi tweeted about it. It's not really something that she's been specifically focused on, but she gets a pass because she's fucking awesome.
She got her damn plate full already.
She does. She's like, I mean, talk about in the trenches. She is in a unbelievable legal battle, a FOIA battle with like 5 different countries trying to get information about what's going on in the Assange case behind the scenes.
And she still writes. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's incredible. I love Stefania so much. So she gets a little bit of a pass because she's been a little preoccupied with other things. RT covered it. Thank you, RT. Andrew Wilkie, another Australian politician who is supportive of David, which they have Andrew Wilkie. I don't know if I said him already. Did I say him already?
I think so.
Yeah, the Assange contingent there is pretty significant. They have a cross-partisan, fairly large support group there. So it's not surprising to me that David has support there as well. But yeah,
if you're an Australian, start bugging your politicians
and your media.
Yes.
For the love of God. I mean, it's just, I'm going to say it again. Mainstream media, Western mainstream media is one of the biggest threats that we face, in my opinion, period.
Yeah, period. Just the lies of omission.
The lies of omission, the way that they lie to us directly, the way that they misinform people, how many wars have they lied us into? All of them. I think
all the ones in my lifetime.
Yeah, for sure. All of them. It's just, yeah. So I would start bugging your Friendly Jordies. I will shout out to Friendly Jordies, who is a friend of David McBride's. Friendly Jordies has been doing a fantastic job for a very long time. He's friends with David. They've had interviews and conversations and all of that stuff. So he's Australian as well. He's been calling out the mainstream press there. But it's just not enough. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. Most people have no idea who David McBride is. And that is a travesty. Like, that is just a travesty. And I'm not just saying that because he's my friend and I'm biased, although he's my friend and I'm biased. But people should know who David McBride is. You should know who David McBride is and what's happening to him and why it matters. But also people need to be aware when they, Kathy and Eddie were talking there about the U.S. directly interfered in this case. The defense team had everything worked out. They had all of their game plan. They had all of this evidence that they were going to use to show a public interest defense as to why David McBride thought that he was doing the right thing. And the United States swooped in and was like, no, we don't want that evidence in court. And so the Australian court system was like, no problem, locking it up. And they literally came into the courtroom and gathered up evidence from the defense team and took it away. That happened. And that was at the behest of the United States government.
I mean, I guess the silver lining is we all know all these legal systems are a fucking joke.
Yeah. Friendly Jordies did a YouTube short, and he said, I would call this a kangaroo court, but I don't want to be offensive to kangaroos.
Right?
It's so true. It's beyond kangaroo court. Like, it's such a joke. I don't even have.
The fact they did that should have knocked that sentence way the fuck down alone. But
yes,
you know, it's all kabuki theater in all these courts.
Yeah, none of this makes sense. Nothing. Like, they talk about law and order, and they don't give two flying fucks about law and order. Not a thing. For us.
Yeah, they want us to
stay
the fucking line.
Yeah, it doesn't apply to them. They can do whatever they want. They can blow up babies in Gaza. They can sacrifice an entire generation of Ukrainian men on the altar of Western imperialism. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can do whatever they want. But if you dare try to expose that, they will come for you and they will destroy your life. It's been made abundantly clear. And that was the plan, right? That's been the goal ever since. I really think all whistleblowers have faced this type of retaliation, but I think it's really been amplified since, I think, really John Kiriakou. I think that was kind of that's when it started to get really bad. And it's just been a shit show ever since.
Yeah, that's when they've been giving him long sentences. And shit.
Yeah. Like, it's become a very obvious, concentrated effort.
Didn't he do like 7 years or some shit?
No, I think three or four, maybe. I think.
Because I know he had a pretty long sentence.
Yeah, he did, but I think he got out early. Whoops, I can't type. Kiriakou. Serve.
I will never be able to spell his last name on demand.
I can spell it on demand. I just can't type. He was sentenced to 30 months in prison, and he served almost 2 years.
Okay, I'm thinking of someone else then. But I shouldn't.
For exposing the torture program.
We tortured some folks. That's what we got out of that.
Yeah.
We tortured some folks.
We gotta move. We gotta look forward. We can't look back. We gotta look forward. We tortured some folks. It happens. What are you gonna do?
We gotta look forward because we still want to torture some folks.
Who among us hasn't tortured some folks, right? I mean, what can you do?
Clown world.
Yeah. Clown world. And John Kiriakou had his life destroyed. It wasn't even about just the 2 years in prison. He lost his family. His wife divorced him. He was financially ruined. I mean, just
his wife was spying on his ass.
Yeah. Yeah, they co-opted his wife. I mean, and that really, I think, to me, that was the tipping point where it really started to become clear that there was a concentrated effort to.
They learned with Ellsberg. I'll give them that.
They did. Yes, they absolutely did. Okay, let's talk Assange before we get out of here. I don't want to keep everybody too long. But obviously Monday, May 20th is a very, very big day. This is big. This is it, really. I mean, in terms of the extradition, this is, I don't want to say that it's it, because there's a couple different things that could happen.
There'll be more.
If it goes to appeal, which listen, I think that's likely to happen. I do not believe that the United States wants to bring Julian Assange to this country in the middle of an election year. If they do,
Where
they're
both
fucking
candidates
dumb.
Are
yes, it looks
not
bad
good
for
on
both teams. Like, it's not like Joe Biden can use this against Donald Trump. It's not like Donald Trump can use this against Joe Biden. It sucks for both of them. It's a bad look for both of them. So if they do bring him here in the middle of election year, they're dumber than I thought. That would be unbelievably stupid. So in my opinion, and listen, I'm open to being wrong. They certainly could be that dumb. There's no question about it. They have, it's not like that's unprecedented. But I don't think that they want to bring him here during an election year. Gabriel Shipton agrees with me. I think most people who are paying attention to this case agree with that. So I think it's likely that they will grant the appeal, and then it'll be dragged out for as long as humanly possible, certainly past the election. And then it's just going to be, it's just a ride, folks.
This
it's
is
just
the
a ride
that never ends.
It is. But it could also be that they deny the appeal request. And if that happens, Julian Assange could be on a plane within hours. As soon as the extradition order is signed, he's on a plane. So that's a little terrifying. But that's what we're facing. So that is happening on Monday, May 20th. Obviously, there are a literal shit ton of events taking place. Let me pull up Candles for Assange. There's a literal shit ton of events taking place on the 20th. Let's see. I think this is the proper thread for this, is it? Yeah, okay. So I'll pull this up and just scroll through some of these so that you can see if there's any of, oh my God, wrong button. Good God. Sorry guys, I'm so bad at this. If there's any events near you. So obviously London, shout out to the London crew. Love the London crew. I love the London crew. I would love nothing more than to go to London and meet my friends in person. I love them so much. So much. I love them so much. I love all of the Assange supporters, even the people that don't like me, which I'm sure there are plenty of them. I love all of you because this shit's not easy. It's not easy. So London will be outside the U.S. Embassy at 1 p.m. on, this is old. Why does she have April up here? Hold on. Maybe it's this one. Okay. Did that pull up okay, Sleepy? Is this the proper thing?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Okay. So London does weekly stuff. They're insane. I think every Wednesday they're at Piccadilly Circus. And then every Wednesday they're at Australia House, which is the Australian embassy type situation. And then every Saturday they're at Piccadilly Circus in the afternoon. And then I think also there's a group at Belmarsh, or maybe I have that flip-flopped. Piccadilly Circus, I think, is in like 4 p.m. It's in the evening. Belmarsh is at noon. Yeah. So they have 3 different events every single week in London, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So if you're in London or anywhere near London, these are some of the best activists, campaigners, as they call them there, on planet Earth. I love them. They are fantastic. They are relentless. They have done so much, and they don't get enough credit, which I just tried to give Paula a whole bunch of credit. And she was like, I don't want credit. I'm like, I know you don't. You deserve it. Washington, May 5th, which I think is already passed. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know what date it is. May 19th, they're going to be at the White House at 4 p.m. I think they also have something on the 20th. I think they just added that though. So it might be down further. I'm not even going to pretend to know how to pronounce that. Mulumby? I don't know. But John Shipton's going to be there. Oh, that's the 8th. I wish he would do like a just May 20th one. So here's Mexico, May 20th, UK Embassy at 12 noon. Perth on the 21st, Forest Place at noon. Adelaide on the 21st, 19 Gauger Street at 4:30. Sydney on the 23rd. Also the 16th, this Thursday if you're in Sydney. Let's see. Berlin on the 23rd. Berlin also does a shit ton of stuff. Germany, Italy, London. Australia does a lot of stuff, but they're always out there. Here's the London, the May 20th. Royal Courts of Justice. Obviously, that's where the hearing is taking place, starting at 8:30 a.m. I think court is scheduled to begin at 9, I think. So please show up for that. Some of the best people ever will be there. Anyways, go to Candles for Assange, scroll down through this thread, find an event near you. Boston's got something. Our friend Paula in Boston, who again does not get enough credit. She doesn't want it, but she needs it. She deserves it. Francis Appleton Bridge, 4 p.m. I think they're doing a banner drop. London, we already did. Oh, here's the DC May 20th at the Department of Justice, 4 p.m. So if you're in or around DC, please go to that. I'm sure Tulsa's doing something. I don't know if Seattle's got something planned. Just go to Candles for Assange, number 4. Alex does a great job of trying to post all of that stuff from a central location, so it's easier for everybody to find the locations near you. So find one near you. Let's see. I'm trying to look at chat. Oh, Glory Jones. I miss your face, Glory Jones. Miss your face. Yeah, so if you can, Glory might be doing something. I don't know if she's in Miami right now or where, but they might be doing something wherever she's at. But if you can get to an event, please get to an event.
Or start an event.
Start an event. Be an event. All you need, literally, poster board, Sharpie, sidewalk. Done. That's all you need. That's it. That's all you need. I think I am going to wake up early and live stream, obviously. I'm so stressed out.
Are we doing one of them 3 a.m. deals?
Well, let's see. Well, I don't know. What's the time change right now? Because I know it was like daylight savings time fucks with it. Hold on.
I think that's rolled over there finally.
So we're now 5 hours again, right?
I think.
Let's see. Right now in London, it is almost 1 a.m. So that's 5 hours, right?
Yes, for you. Yeah,
for me. Yeah.
I'm an hour back from you. So.
You don't have to get up if you don't want to.
I might be up already. Who knows?
Okay. Because if it starts, we probably should start around 8:30. We can get some live feed. I'm sure somebody will have live feed. I'm sure Gordon will be there. Or somebody will have live feed from outside the court. But I will be live streaming one way or the other. Very, very early in the morning. So if that's 8:30 for us, 3:30. Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I wonder if I should just stay up, just stay awake all night.
I think that's 2:30 for me. I can swing that.
Oh yeah, I could stay up that late. But I mean, I don't even know how long it's going to take. You know how long these dude, the David McBride thing. Man, it took forever for them to read the actual decision. It was like a couple hours. Like they had to rehash everything. Like we know why we're here. We already know why we're here. Can we please just get to the point? It was very stressful.
I swear they do that to punish people.
Yes, for sure. It's part of the process, right? But yeah, so on Monday, I will be here. Sleepy will probably be here to live stream the decision. Once again, I will try not to cry on camera. Hopefully, although, listen, there is no good news. I'm just going to be blunt. There's no good news. Either he gets the appeal and he remains in Belmarsh for who knows how long, or he's extradited to the country that was trying to kill him. Where's the good? Somebody show me the good news there. There is no possibility for good news on Monday. Unless magically somebody's like, we should just drop the charges. That's not going to happen. But I mean, that's the only potential for good news. And so it sucks. There's really no win here. We're used to that though. There's not ever any wins for us. It's like being punched in the face repeatedly. It is like that. Why do you think I like invent wins? I have to maintain my sanity. Okay, so I also just wanted to bring up the fact that once again, there are shenanigans in terms of who is being allowed to cover the hearings on Monday. So our pal, good Kevin Gostola from The Dissenter, everybody go check out The Dissenter, support all of that good stuff. Kevin has done a fantastic job over the years. I don't think he likes me much. I don't think like that whole crowd, I'm not really their people. But I like Kevin, and I think he does fantastic work. His book is fantastic that he wrote on Julian Assange, and The Dissenter does great work. And listen, Kevin has been on this since before it was the Assange case. Like, we're talking Chelsea Manning stuff. He covered all of the Chelsea Manning court-martial, all of that. And so he's been on this from jump. And so his work is invaluable. Everybody go check it out. Support.
And in depth.
In depth, yes. If you really want to know the Assange case, he's one of those people that you should be paying attention to. But he tweeted out earlier today, and also he has a video up on his YouTube channel where he discusses the Assange hearing and some Israel stuff. And I watched it earlier. But he talks about he was denied access yet again to the video link. I also DM'd Mary Kostakidis, who we mentioned earlier, who's an Australian journalist, and she said that she didn't even bother to apply because she knew that she was going to be denied because they have some really ridiculous.
Well, last time you had to be in the UK and shit.
I think that they're using that same justification. And also, this says here from Defending Rights and Dissent, which is Chip Gibbons' organization. They tweeted out earlier, "We are disturbed that again, the UK High Court is blocking remote access to international journalists. Both Kevin Gostola and our policy director, Chip Gibbons, who hoped to cover the hearing for Jacobin, were told it was, quote, not in the interest of justice, end quote, to grant remote access. Please explain to me how making sure that the single most important court case on press freedom in modern history, arguably ever, getting adequate coverage of that. Please tell me how that's not in the interest of justice. Can somebody please explain that to me like I'm 5? Anybody, please. Because that makes no fucking sense. And people have been asking, can you stream the hearing? No court. No, they won't allow cameras in the courts. Again, the single most important court case on press freedom, I think, ever. And we can't get coverage of it. We can't get a live stream of it. We can't have access to it. It impacts literally every human being on planet Earth. And they make it as impossible as they can for people to follow it. It is insane. It is insane. However, I also messaged Kathy Vogan and asked her if she had been granted access, and she has. So Consortium News has been granted both video access, and she has also been informed of a place reserved for her in the courtroom. So once again, please go support Consortium News. That's going to be where I'm finding out what's happening, most likely. I don't know who else has access. I've reached out to a couple other people. I don't know if Matt Hurst, for example, did he tweet about it? Do you know, Sleepy? I didn't check.
I don't know. I didn't check.
I cannot type today or any day. I don't know why I'm qualifying. I don't see anything from him. It's just a lot of Israel stuff. McBride, Israel, McBride. Yeah, I don't see anything from him. So I don't know if he has been granted access or not. I don't know. I don't know of anybody other than Consortium News and Reporters Without Borders who have access to the hearings on Monday. So there you have it. I wonder if Craig Murray has access. I should check that too. I didn't even think about that. I should have.
I could have swore he didn't.
I would not be surprised because he just had to go and testify, didn't he, recently?
I don't remember. Court shit's all a blur now. There's so much.
He tweeted out, yet again, the High Court in London has automatically denied the request of everybody in Scotland or Northern Ireland for video access to the Assange hearings. So I don't know if he's saying that he himself has been denied like access. I don't know if he's going to the court. He does usually, unless he's got something else going on. I think Amnesty, Human Rights Watch, among others, have been explicitly excluded from the court and almost never had a usable video feed. Shout out to Reporters Without Borders who faced the same obstacles and overcame. Amnesty International also tweeted out, Amnesty International is deeply frustrated by the significant hurdles that its staff and other observers have faced in their attempts to monitor the hearings in UK courts in the case of Julian Assange versus USA. Not that I give a flying fuck about Amnesty International. Don't care. Terrible organization. Terrible. I'm just going to say it. They're on my shit list. Have been for a while. So yeah, I don't know if I'll DM Craig Murray and see if he's got access or not. I would very much like Craig Murray to have access. He does. I love his writing. He's deliciously snarky. Those are my people. It's good stuff. I don't see where he said just that everybody in Scotland and Northern Ireland have been denied access.
Yeah, I think they're pulling the same shit as last time, where it's just if you're not in London or whatever.
That's what Mary said. I'm not going to share the DMs because I think that that's really shady. But I will just say that she said that it's clear that they're repeating the jurisdiction requirement. Those outside the jurisdiction are receiving rejection slips with exactly the same reasons, can enforce penalty for noncompliance, and there are enough journos, including AUs and US journos, who are covering within the jurisdiction. So basically they're saying, oh, there's enough of you. There's not enough. There's not enough. Never enough.
They probably filled the seats with people ain't going to write shit about it anyway.
Right? Ugh. So frustrating. Okay, so Monday we will be here. I can't even say bright and early. It's still going to be dark. We'll be here in the dark of night, covering this ridiculous charade of a justice system. We'll see what happens. I have no idea really what to expect. I mean, I have my suspicions, but you never know. You really never know what they're going to do. I also am curious whether or not Julian himself will be permitted to attend the hearing. Last time they said that he was too sick. I will reach out to Gabriel and see if I can find out some information about that. I would very much like to see Julian Assange.
It's been years.
In person. It's been years. And the only thing that we've seen of him has been leaked photos, grainy photos. The last time that we got a photo was the day that he had the mini stroke. Shout out to the person that leaked that. I know who you are. I love you for it. So we haven't seen him since then. And we haven't heard from him in years. Like since he was arrested, really, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when he was being carried out and
that's it.
That's really the last time we've heard him speak out loud. That's crazy. 5 years, over 5 years since we've heard his voice. And it's been, I don't remember when the mini stroke was. Was that 2022?
I think so.
October 2022, maybe?
I think so.
So it's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been too long. I would like to hear and see Julian Assange, period. End of story. It's weird to me that we're not permitted to see and hear from Julian Assange. It's just unacceptable. It just is. And I don't trust anybody. So I would like to see and hear from him myself. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say about that. It just makes me very angry. So hopefully he will be allowed to attend in person. I doubt it. Almost certainly, if he's allowed to attend at all, it will be via video link from that stupid tiny room in Belmarsh again. And maybe somebody will leak another picture. I'll have to see if that person is also going to be at the hearing that leaked the last time. Love you for it. The two pictures we got leaked came from the same person. Okay. Anything else? Am I missing anything?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm exhausted. I'm sorry that I cried on camera, y'all. Yeah, I will check on Chris Hedges too. Stefania, I'm not sure about. I will ask her as well. She was denied last time for video link. Anybody outside of the UK who's not going to be physically in the UK on the day, they're denying no video access, which is insane. So I don't know. She's in Italy. I don't know if she intends to travel this time. I will message her and ask. That would be cool. I can't imagine that she wouldn't, knowing the circumstances. I'm sure that she wants to be there. So I will definitely check that out. And yes, Natalie, Kevin Gastola, thank you, VS Adams, for adding that. Kevin does great stuff. Dissenter.org?
Org.
Org?
I think it's org.
I think it's org. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, org. The Dissenter.org. That is the website that he runs. He used to run Shadowproof as well. That is now defunct. He's focusing just on the Dissenter. He does really great work. Please go support good independent media, not the drama for clicks. Actually, don't let me get on my high horse. Support whoever you want. I'm not going to tell you who to support, but just be mindful of who you're supporting. Support people who are covering real stuff and not drama, because it's easy. There's too much of that right now. There's so many people in independent media are just like, I'm going to pick a fight with so-and-so and get clicks from it. It's just dumb. There's a lot of it though. Okay.
We out of here?
I think so.
All right. See y'all Monday, Tuesday, whenever the hell that is.
Monday. Very, very. Wait, is that Monday?
I think it'd be Tuesday early as fuck in the morning.
No.
No?
Because it's Monday, 8:30 a.m.
So it's Monday early as fuck.
It's Monday very, very early.
Okay.
Yeah.
See y'all Monday.
So Monday morning, around 3:30 a.m. Eastern, we will be here live covering the extradition decision for Julian Assange. Thanks for tuning in. Please go support David McBride. I tweeted out his donation link for his GoFundMe to support his defense fund. Please go support that. Please go support Consortium News. Please go support Kevin Gastola and Stefania Marizzi, and whoever else we talked about today that is awesome and deserves support. Support Assange activists. Halo often does fundraisers where she's trying to get the activism in a box to people. Paula just did the fantastic postcard thing. That stuff's not cheap. And a lot of these, trust me, I know, we often do that out of pocket, and it's incredibly expensive. It's why I had to back off doing it out of pocket, because I've spent thousands of dollars out of pocket. And I know that they both have as well. Kendra in Denver has as well. All of the Assange activists, most of the stuff that they do is out of pocket. I know that London right now is trying to do a fundraiser for the double-decker bus, the tour bus thing. They like deck it out in Assange stuff and drive around downtown London. I think somebody else is trying to get the billboard trucks for London. Randy Credico is always doing the billboard trucks either in New York or DC. There's Assange activists out there all the time doing incredible work, and it's not cheap. So if you see one of those fundraisers and you have a little bit to contribute, consider contributing, because we need all the help that we can get. Okay, I'm off my high horse now. We'll see you on Monday.